This segment, we are honored to have with us a very special message from Golden Globe nominated and SAG Award winning actress, producer, director, philanthropist, and Time's Up founder, Eva Longoria. Eva is committed to leading the movement for diverse and female representation in Hollywood, the workplace, and beyond. In 2012, she created the Eva Longoria Foundation to help Latinas build better futures for themselves and their families through education and entrepreneurship. And it directly impacted more than 30,000 lives in the United States and in Mexico. So we're thrilled to have Eva share her thoughts on the importance of women's leadership in this COVID world, and to also have her lend her voice to the Generation Equality Forum and the work of the Action Coalitions, and of course, the Women, Peace and Security and Humanitarian Action Compact.
During the pandemic, women have disproportionately borne the responsibility of keeping our world moving. In many countries, women are the majority of essential workers. And globally, 70% of healthcare workers and first responders are women. Other women have suffered disproportionate job losses, in part because unpaid care work has exploded. And women are now spending 15 more hours on unpaid labor every week than men. In economies of all sizes, women have seen their hours cut, their paychecks shrink, they've lost revenue from small businesses. It's more than a crisis of health and a crisis of finances. Rates of domestic violence are rising, and an estimated 11 million girls around the world will not return to school after the pandemic. So all told, we've lost so much ground in the movement for women's rights. And we know the pandemic didn't create gender inequality. It just exacerbated it. And these issues won't disappear once we have widespread vaccinations. But in the same way that 2020 forced us to restructure nearly every aspect of our life, we can use this as an opportunity to create a world built on principles and equality and justice. And this kind of systemic change has to come from the top down and the bottom up. That's why I'm here alongside the executive director of UN Women to help announce the Generation Equality Forum. We'll work with a global coalition to launch a series of transformative actions to achieve lasting progress toward gender equality. Because if we want to build a more inclusive world, we have to change the way we think about and invest in the movement. We have to prioritize the work of the historically marginalized women. I've spent my time as an activist working on issues that are important to Latina women. But our intersectional community benefits from the work that disabled women do for equitable healthcare, that LGBTQ women do for civil rights, that Black women do for economic justice, because our oppressions have the same roots, and our solidarity is the path to our liberation. So we have to make financial investments in the leadership of grassroots activists who've been fighting for the communities for a long time. We have to listen to and empower young women who have new ideas and energy to contribute to our movements. And we can build on the work that came before us and still leave stepping stones for the women who will follow us. Women are already leading, so it's on governments and companies and philanthropists and civil society organizations to recognize and respect that leadership, to invest in community-based solutions, to ensure women have a key role in all decision-making, big and small, that affects our collective future. And that's where Generation Equality Action Coalition comes in. Stakeholders from every sector that are committing to drive progress on issues that affect all women: gender-based violence, economic justice, bodily autonomy, climate justice, equitable technology, feminist leadership. Every coalition member is making financial, advocacy, and policy commitments for us to see meaningful change in this generation. And I'm so honored that the Eva Longoria Foundation will be a partner in Generation Equality's work on economic justice and rights. I started the foundation to help Latinas reach their full potential through education and entrepreneurship. And through our work in the United States and Mexico, I've seen firsthand what we can do when we bring women-led grassroots organizations and major companies to the table. We can accomplish much more together than we ever could alone, and our movement needs you. Yes, you. If you agree that 50% of the population deserves 50% of the power, then join us today by supporting Act for Equal, the campaign to renew and recommit ourselves to the fight for intersectional gender equality in the run-up to the Generation Equality Forum. Visit unwomen.org to understand where we are, where we're going, and how you can act for equal.